Hello, beautiful people. Happy Wednesday. I recently recorded a journaling session for a virtual conference, and I wanted to share that with my community here. So grab your journals and let's get ready to flow together. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to your journaling session with Affirm and Flow. My name is Tamara. I am an actress, speaker, and new author. I am also the founder and CEO of Affirm and Flow, a wellness and self-love company that empowers you on your journey to healing through journaling. So go ahead and grab a journal, grab a pen, and maybe some tissues, I don't know, and let's get started. So why journaling? Well, Affirm and Flow was really birthed out of my own pain and desire to return to a love again, which is journaling. As someone who has struggled with depression and anxiety for many years, I realized that depression really started to infiltrate every area of my life and dominate it. So much so that the things that I used to find comfort and positive release in started to burden me. I developed a lot of resistance towards those positive outlets, and journaling was one of them. So I found myself in this really dark place of grief and trying to crawl out of it. And I knew how beneficial it was for me to express my thoughts in a healthy way, but I was struggling a little bit, and that is when the Affirm Daily Method was born. So before we jump into the method, I really want us to take a moment to take inventory. Now, this is something that I highly encourage that you do maybe on a monthly basis, on a bi-monthly basis, because I always say in order to know where you are going, you must first know where you are. And if you have ever worked in retail or if you own your own business, you know how important it is to take inventory. You need to know the products that you have so you are marketing efficiently, so that you are placing orders efficiently. You aren't running a business blind. Why aren't we doing that with our personal lives as well? So this is all about putting you in the mindset of growth, of expectation, of transformation prior to beginning your new journaling practice. And it's really simple. It's a 4-step process made up of 4 questions to ask yourself. The first question is, where are you? Make a list of your current habits, thoughts, and beliefs that you either want to strengthen or change. Are you anxious, determined, burned out, thriving? The most important thing is to be honest with yourself. As you notice, you are making a list of both positive and negative habits or beliefs that you currently have, because it's not only about transformation, but it's also about growth. So we also want to highlight what you are succeeding at in this moment, but how can you elevate? How can you go higher? The next question is, where are you going? Whom do you want to be? Imagine living your best life, happy, healed, and whole. What does that look like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like to be this person? Don't hold back. dream on paper. What's the sacrifice? Now this one can be a hard one sometimes. This requires honesty. This requires vulnerability. What are you sacrificing if you don't choose to make a change today? Will you sacrifice your health, your happiness, your future?
It was the original place, but I heard.
And finally, make a plan. Now that you have explored who you are and whom you want to become, it's time to plan it out. What are you willing to do to create change and transformation in your life? Are you going to commit to a new journaling practice? Will you sign up for therapy? Are you going to join some type of accountability or support group? Whatever it is, make sure that you are very, very specific and that you are willing to make the commitment. I love taking inventory. It is such a positive release, especially in those moments where I'm overwhelmed and I start to believe the limiting beliefs that I'm having. It grounds me and brings me back to reality. So I was already practicing speaking self-affirming statements over myself prior to starting Affirm and Flow. I would write an affirmation in my journal and, have some reflection time, just journaling about the feelings and the thoughts that were coming up. But I really started to dig deeper into the science behind it. And there is extensive research on how journaling improves your immune system. It reduces stress and anxiety, and speaking self-affirmations over yourself activates the reward centers in the brain. So I really created a method to really merge those two together, and that is where the Affirm Daily Method came from. But I don't want us to create toxic positivity, because what I noticed is that a lot of people were self-affirming in the wrong way. Example, this is the example I always like to lead with, because I think beauty is something that we can all identify and understand, especially because society as a whole has defined beauty for us in such a way that we typically only think of it in physical terms. So for someone who may be struggling with body image or insecurities, they may have the thought that I am not beautiful. So to tell them to stand in the mirror every day and to recite over and over again, I am beautiful, I am beautiful, I am beautiful, can actually create toxic positivity, because it kind of creates this war in their brain between their positive and their negative thoughts. I always like to say, try to find an opening, because oftentimes a negative thought or a limiting belief is rooted in a very specific experience or circumstance. So, vulnerability moment, I've always struggled with body image and having insecurities around my body. And I know that it is rooted in a specific experience from childhood. So someone may have said something negative. They probably didn't even think that it was negative, but they said it about my body. So now I have interpreted that as there's something wrong with me. So I have carried that into adulthood, and now I have this limiting belief of I'm not beautiful. But here's the opening. When I take a moment to step back and ask myself, is there anything that I find beautiful about myself? And I start to reflect and I say, well, I always believed that I had beautiful eyes. I always believed that I have a beautiful personality. I have a beautiful soul. So what you're doing is you're contradicting that limiting belief that has been ingrained in you for who knows how long. An affirmation should be a vehicle, not a cure. It should be a vehicle to help you get to growth and transformation and healing. So as I am truthfully affirming myself with, I have beautiful eyes, I have a beautiful soul, I have a beautiful personality, it's allowing me to peel back the layers and knock down those walls to destroy that limiting belief as I redefine beauty for myself. So whatever your limiting belief is, I want you to take the time. You have to be willing to do this. I want you to take the time to start to ask yourself those questions. Why do I have this belief? Where and when was this belief planted? Is this belief actually true? And once we have done that work, it's time to begin your journaling practice. So the Affirm Daily Method consists of having a monthly, weekly, and daily affirmation. So think of your monthly affirmation as the theme. So this is a broad statement that summarizes an overarching goal or belief. For example, I aim to live a healthy lifestyle. And I think that this is where a lot of people start and then stop. So they affirm themselves, you know, they want to get into a new wellness routine. So they start to affirm themselves. I aim to live a healthy lifestyle. Boom. And they repeat that over and over and over again. But what does that mean? What does that look like? So then you develop your weekly affirmation, which is your intention. Your intention is a focus statement that allows you to prioritize one goal or habit for the week. I move my body on a daily basis. So now that you have your monthly and your weekly affirmation, your daily affirmation is your gentle reminder. So this is an encouraging statement that keeps you motivated and reminds you of your goals. My health is important to me. And you can get as cliche as you want to here. Health is wealth. I can do it. Whatever it is, just imagine being in the middle of a challenging workout and you really have to start, speaking to yourself and encouraging yourself in that moment. That is what your gentle reminder is. And then you have your reflection. So this is your journaling time. This is where you are going to write out all of your feelings, good and bad, and ask yourself, am I experiencing fear, shame, resistance, joy, peace as you are reciting or writing out your affirmations? It's really, really important to be honest with yourself. Put those thoughts on paper and explore them. And I also want to acknowledge that repetition is key. Every day you are writing out your monthly and your weekly affirmation. Your daily affirmation is going to change from day to day, but that is not a rule because this is your journey. So maybe you want to repeat a daily affirmation. That is completely up to you. But writing your monthly and weekly affirmations daily keeps your mind focused on your growth. Your repeated words and thoughts enter your subconscious mind and affect your actions and behaviors. The intention of Affirm Flow is to promote growth, healing, and transformation. So I encourage you to develop this practice, and it is a practice. It's like working a muscle. You have to continuously work at it to produce progress. My recently self-published book that I have sitting back here, Daily Affirmations for the Soul, it is full of 30 days of affirmations, reflections, and affirm challenges. So you can find that on the website as well. So thank you so much for joining me for our journaling session. I really hope that you are encouraged to prioritize your wellness, your mind, your body, and your spirit. Peace, love, and light. Welcome to the Sunday Flow experience. Sunday Flow is a curated Affirm session. We will breathe, relax, and release through gentle movement and journaling. Sunday Flow is released every first Sunday of the month. Come prepared with an open heart and mind as we set our intentions for the month. I highly encourage a quiet and comfortable setting with a towel or exercise mat, water, and a journal. The Affirm Flow 30-day workbook is a great accompaniment to our sessions, in addition to my recently launched book, Daily Affirmations for the Soul. So let's get ready to flow together.